Hey guys, I'm Dov, and today I'm back with more Total War Warhammer 2 multiplayer action. Yesterday, you guys saw me run over the Beastmen super hard with a bunch of Reichsguards, so today I'm going to show you how to use the Beastmen against the High Elves. So, let's get to it. We've got the Eye of Morsleep, of course, as I mentioned. We've got Butchers of Kalkengard, a whole bunch of Ungor Spearmen herd, Malagor with double GOREBULL here, Sons of Goros. I like them particularly here to go after Dragon Princes because they do have magic attacks. Of course, they have Guardian as well, so if they're supporting the GOREBULLs, they'll be giving them a bit of physical resistance. And yeah, that's mostly it for my army. I've got a few raiders, a couple of pig herds in the back. I like these guys as a counter cavalry tool. They don't have the best stats in the world, but 46 charge bonus is okay, and they do decent AP damage as well. As for our High Elf opponent, we've got 3 units of Dragon Princes, which is a lot for the Beastmen to deal with, including the Fireborn. Life Mage, of course, to heal them. We've got Tyrion as well, Spearmen, and White Lions mixed in the front line. Just 2 White Lions and 3 Spearmen and 2 Archers. So a relatively narrow front line, but 3 units of Dragon Princes, including the Fireborn, who, of course, with their fire damage and anti-large and high charge bonus, are an excellent counter for the Butchers of Kalkengard. So I'm definitely going to have to be careful with them. Right off the bat, though, the Eye of Morsleep is going to be chucking rocks at these Dragon Princes. It's accurate enough that you can hit relatively often, especially if they're holding still. But Centaurs with throwing axes just kind of maneuvering out to the wings here to try and get some skirmish damage done if we can. You can see the elves are advancing a little bit through the woods here. Now, GOREBULLs are currently hidden. They're now going to get revealed as Tyrion charges in. And, oh man, Tyrion's got an attack order on something else, but he just gets immediately jumped by both the GOREBULLs. I'm going to go ahead and throw Mantle of Garroch on one of them. Now, GOREBULLs do have 100 armor, so you can see it takes him down to only 70, but still, just the massive melee attack and 588 weapon damage. Just absolutely huge here. You can see how the Dragon Princes charged the GOREBULLs, and then I came in with a rear charge with the Sons of Goros, which is exactly how you want to take that. You do not want to take that charge in the face with the Sons of Goros, certainly, but Sun Fang here going to rip apart those Ungor Spearmen herd. The Butchers of Kalkengard also coming in, again, getting a rear charge on the Fireborn. Very important to not get directly charged by them, but meanwhile, for the rest of the battle, the Beastmen infantry is going to get engaged here by the Elven infantry. Elves obviously will win out on that fight, but at the same time, we can at least hold them up for some time. The Raiders are coming up to start shooting at that Life Mage. And here come the pig herds, again, doing a rear charge here. And as much as I can, I'm trying to just keep these guys forced in around the GOREBULLs. They're both taking a lot of damage from Tyrion and the Fireborn, but I'm just continuously cycling in and out. You can see the Sons of Goros now coming in for another cycle charge as well. With their magic damage, they are excellent for going after these Dragon Princes. So we're going to go ahead and just try and only take favorable engagements here as much as possible. Meanwhile, Eye of Morsleep is continuing to throw here. It does do a little bit of friendly fire to those Ungor Spearmen herd, but that's fine, to be honest. Of course, the pigs, once they get enraged, won't be able to cycle in and out, but you can see here how much damage we've done already to both these 2 units of Dragon Princes and the Fireborn here have all taken a pretty extreme amount of damage. Sons of Goros and the GOREBULLs now going to charge here. We are taking a little bit of a direct charge, which is not the best, but at the same time, Mantle of Garroch goes off on those Sons of Goros, and you can see how quickly those Dragon Princes just absolutely melt. They're up to 48 weapon strength, 85 melee attack, just ripping apart those Dragon Princes. And Tyrion is also caught up in this situation as well, getting wrecked on by the GOREBULLs. He does get his proc of Heart of Averlorn there, and you can see the Fireborn got a very nice rear charge on the Sons of Goros this time. That's probably going to finish them off. So the High Elves not completely out of this yet. I haven't been microing my Centaurs with throwing axes super well, but we are going to support a little bit here. The Eye of Morsleep now throwing at those White Lions, which are overextending, and we're using the Raiders to go after the Elven Archers, as of course they're low armor and much more expensive, but I'm going to go ahead and pull back with the Butchers of Kalkengard here, keep them in a protective position with Malagor, and also try and get the GOREBULLs back. Because the Dragon Princes are healing a bit, they're sort of reforming a bit of a pocket here. You can see the balance of power shifting back in the High Elves' favor as they try and come back, but here, Tyrion overextends. We get the Fireborn as well. Again, fighting the Butchers of Kalkengard directly with them isn't going to be great, but you can see I get a nice rear charge here with the pigs. That is going to do a lot of damage to those Fireborn, and more followed up from another unit of Dragon Princes, but it's not going to be enough to save the Fireborn. They do get terrified away by the Butchers of Kalkengard there, and Tyrion's also taken a ton of damage just getting pounded you know, double teamed, if you will, by these two GOREBULLs here. So definitely an uncomfortable situation for Tyrion. With his loss of HP, that is going to put a massive dent in the balance power. And of course, all those expensive Dragon Princes have mostly been dealt with as well. We've got Spearman Herd in the back line, able to mostly get on these archers. They're just kind of chilling for now, but that's fine. Of course, the White Lions, again, way overextending to chase a unit off the map here. That does mean we're going to be able to just fire artillery at them for quite a while. And at this point, it's pretty much game for the High Elves. Relatively rough stuff. A nice little vigor refresh there. You can see most of my units are winded, tired, whereas, yeah, the High Elf units are going to be mostly very tired and worse. But the Dragon Princes did come back from rout, just enough to chase off the one GOREBULL here. But it's just a matter of time before we hit critical army losses. Tyrion's still fighting. You can see he's getting chased by the Butchers of Kalkengard. Oh man, they caught him. They caught him. And even though Tyrion's sword is on fire, he doesn't actually do fire damage, which is a little bit unfortunate. He would be much better against the Butchers of Kalkengard if he did fire damage, but yeah, with him going, my opponent is going to admit defeat there. And understandably so. It was pretty much unwinnable for him at that point. So yeah, this is kind of the way I've been enjoying playing the Beastmen lately. The Malagor double GOREBULL, it is a bit risky in some situations, but definitely can pay off quite well also. Of course, the Butchers of Kalkengard and Eye of Morslib are just absolute units. I like Ungor Raiders quite a bit as well. For the cost, I think they're actually a really nice little missile unit. Sons of Goros sort of showed their effectiveness here, so for the High Elves, I would just recommend going a little bit wider. I mean, I'd definitely like the pick of the Fireborn here. I would probably cut one of these other units of Dragon Princes, though, and then bring like 3 Reavers, maybe like 2 or 3 Reavers, just to be able to have more bodies. Like, Reavers will trade super well against Razorgore Herd. They can even charge into most Beastmen infantry relatively well, so yeah, I would just like to see a little bit more numbers from the High Elves in this particular matchup, but let's go ahead and jump into one more Malagor double GOREBULL here. I've got one more where I'm facing off against the Greenskins, Azag the Slaughterer, who we don't see super often. You can see they've got 3 Black Orcs, 3 Biggins, 3 Night Goblins, one of which is the 8-Peak Loonies, Goblin Shaman on foot, Azag in the air. And yeah, 2 regular Gobos. I've got, again, Malagor double GOREBULL, Butchers of Kalkengard, and Eye of Morslib. This time, though, we padded it out with 2 more units of Minotaurs with shields, because they're the only useful type of Minotaur, and just a whole mess of Ungor Spears to take the charge. And, of course, the 2 Hounds hidden in the woods. Can't forget about them. And yeah, you can see this is the Arnhem map. Yeah, it's relatively interesting. The Doom Divers actually are an interesting pick here. They don't do the most missile damage in the world, but they are accurate enough to hit the Eye of Morslib consistently. And because he's got them on this reverse slope here, because they have an angled arc of fire, I can't necessarily return fire on them super easily. I mean, not that I would want to. Certainly, the Eye of Morslib's main target is going to be Black Orcs. You can see Azag flying over here doing some scouting. I'm going to try and keep these 2 GOREBULLs close. Malagor's at a little bit of a risk here of getting gooned by Azag. I mean, over the course of the battle, just through successive Spirit Leeches, he'll probably be able to kill him regardless, so I am on a little bit of a timer here. So we're now pushing forward. You can see the Doom Divers starting to fire, and they are hitting the Eye of Morslib. Done a little bit of HP damage so far. Might also be going after those Minotaurs as well, but here comes the shot from the Eye of Morslib on the Black Orcs, clips the back of the unit, takes out a few of them, so the skirmish phase has officially started. I'm going to go ahead and continue to advance my forces here, as, again, if you have the Eye of Morslib and your opponent has artillery, it's usually in your favor to try and play up and just, you know, not allow them to even come close. Azag is going to drop down here. We're going to hit him with that Warp Gaze so that he can't pull away. And then the 2 GOREBULLs are going to come over along with Malagor to try and take him out. I honestly probably use that Warp Gaze a little bit prematurely, as it doesn't last super long, and Azag is going to be able to get back up in the air. So, not the best, but at the same time, it's okay. You can see the Minotaurs charging in. Nope, not charging. Gonna go ahead and feint back. And yeah, just continue to try and skirmish it out a little bit here. The Spirit Leeches are starting to be dropped on Malagor, so definitely, like I said, it's going to be rough in that aspect. Now we're getting a proper charge, though, as the Butchers and the other Minotaurs charge in. The Night Goblins will take this charge quite nicely. You and then the Biggins and Black Orcs are going to follow up in a second wave, which is a very nice play here. You can see the Wah now being popped as the Black Orcs and other units are moving in to engage, but yeah, I don't necessarily get the best attack order here to follow up, so ooh, that blocky formation, though, definitely playing into the favor of the Eye of Morslid. You can see I did get some hounds up and around the back here, just sort of put them in the woods to try and see if I could get in and get on these artillery crews, but for the time being, honestly, this frontline engagement initially went very well for me, but now is not really going too great, especially with Wah active. These Biggins will just put a pounding on Minotaurs. They have a huge attack, anti-large bonus. Black Orcs as well, a very resilient unit, gonna hold up just fine here, so yeah, while my initial Beast Rush was looking very good, these Biggins, I mean, yeah, 42 weapon strength, 8 bonus versus large with 38 melee attack means they can make pretty consistent contact with the Minotaurs, and when they do quite a bit of damage as well. Ooh, man, thankfully the Eye of Morslib is doing a great job supporting here. Some of these Black Orcs have taken quite a bit of damage, but likewise my Minotaurs are taking quite a bit of damage, so we're going to pull back. Azag had dropped down one more time, and we were able to get on him a little bit with the GOREBULLs here, but another very risky dive right into the center of these Minotaurs. He's going to try and pull away immediately, but fortunately I'm not able to really keep him pinned down on the ground, and most of the infantry support in the front line is gone. The Hounds, we do have chasing some routing Night Goblins, which is great. They're going to be able to generate some great value here, and just fighting Goblins in general. I mean, it's not the best, but they can generate some value. Nice little Vile Tide there. And another rock. Ooh, beautiful hit right on those Biggins. And I'm definitely going to have to get some heavy lifting out of this Eye of Morslib. You can see the balance of power is not really in my favor at this point. It's still very much even, as there's still a ton of Greenskins infantry left. And yeah, all my Butchers and other Minotaurs with shields just got routed off here, which is not great. So we'll see. I mean, Azag certainly being a little bit over-aggressive has taken some HP damage, but the balance of power has turned slightly against me at this point. We do have some Hounds still trying to get in the back line here, trying to get on these artillery crews, but haven't been super successful so far. A nice Overcast Vile Tide does a little bit of AP damage, but not the most in the world. At this point, mainly, the only way I can really win is to just get like a massive terror route or something. The Eye of Morslib obviously causes terror, and it's been able to use up most of its ammunition, 77 kills so far, but obviously taking out Azag is going to be very key here as well. My opponent's going to have to come down to the ground for me to be able to do that, which he does, almost. Spirit Leech on Malagor is going to take him down to about 181 hit points. Will he survive? Ooh, down to 49 hit points. He's pretty much done for at this point. I'm surprised he didn't shatter there, but it's very unlikely that he's going to be coming back. That said, you can see the GOREBULLs here forcing a nice little blob for the Eye of Morslib to just absolutely dunk on, which he's going to do. And that's going to be the key to success here. Looks like an Overcast Doom and Darkness, debuffing leadership of all these units. It's going to try and go after these GOREBULLs here and single them out. Eye of Morslib might honestly have to go into melee a little bit here, but the Hounds are still harassing in the back line. We've been able to shut down one of the units of Doom Divers at least. So, hey, some value generated there, certainly. The two GOREBULLs are still relatively healthy, though. They really haven't taken much damage here at all, and the fact that their animations mean they move around a bunch, if the Doom Divers are trying to shoot the GOREBULLs, they're going to end up doing a lot of friendly fire to the infantry here as well, so now it looks like they're going after the Eye of Morslib, which is a great target for them. They are accurate enough to hit him pretty consistently, and they've already done quite a bit of damage, so yeah, looking good. Just pulling back the Butchers of Kalkengard to let them regenerate a little bit of HP here, and let the old Eye of Morslib do its thing. But again, you can see the GOREBULL starting to take a bit of damage. There's still plenty of Biggins here, and although Biggins are not immune to psychology, they do have pretty decent leadership, and given the situation, they're unlikely to rout. But the Butchers come in, the other Minotaurs with shields come in, two GOREBULLs still standing and fighting. Oh man, those Doom Divers are still just pounding away at the Eye of Morslib here. So it's definitely going to end up being a pretty close finish, but absolutely getting dunked on. Now I have a chance. We've got the Warp Gaze on Azag. Azag takes a hit to the face from the Eye of Morslib. GOREBULL dives in from behind. A second dive from the other GOREBULL. Butchers of Kalkengard come in, and suddenly it looks like we will be able to finish off Azag. That's brought the balance of power back to even, and Azag just straight up gets wrecked there. So yeah, definitely a very, very bad play for Azag is going to allow me a door to get back into this game. You can see all of a sudden the leadership of these biggins is low enough that they do in fact tear route. Will we get a massive chain terror route here? Obviously the Greenskins, or sorry, the Black Orcs won't get terrified, but you can see a number of units do get terrified away here, and I'm able to pull away the Eye of Morsleep to try and throw a few more dunks. That Doom Diver is finally out of ammunition, so I'm not having to worry about that anymore. And yeah, we'll see. It's going to be a tight finish, but we should be able to pull something out here. Beastmen absolutely slugging it out with the Greenskins. Man, I absolutely love this game. There's even still a few Ungors hanging around here as well. And, ooh, that was a near miss. But because of the slope of the hill there, but it looks like a lot of those Greenskin infantry do rout, and at that point my opponent is going to admit defeat. So very well played, and it actually ended up being a quite close battle. Really like the pick of the Doom Divers there. I think they were well used to go after the Eye of Morsleep. Obviously they weren't able to finish him off, but I think if they had just stayed focused on him a little bit more throughout the course of the battle, like there were a few times where they switched targets to the Minotaurs or to the GOREBULLs, they should have just stayed focused on the Eye of Morsleep the whole time. They probably would have been able to take it out, but honestly ended up being a pretty close battle there. Really the GOREBULLs and the Butchers of Kalkengard carrying the day there, both racking up a ton of kills. 127 obviously for the Eye of Morsleep, just doing some heavy lifting. 81 kills in the next XP Chevron for some Poison Warhounds. That's never a bad thing. And yeah, for my opponent, obviously his Frontline did reasonably well. Again, I'd really like to pick up the Doom Divers. Just being a little bit over-aggressive with Azag in the late game kind of cost him the game there. But hopefully you guys enjoyed watching this Beastmen double cast. If you do like this type of content, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button so every time I upload new battle replays, you'll be notified. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.